KPRC2 investigates the number of domestic violence cases in Harris County. Those cases are skyrocketing.
And what's even more eye-opening is just how some of these cases are resolved. Here's investigator Robert Arnold.
I didn't know how to tell my family. I didn't know how to tell my friends what was going on, my coworkers.
Ashley Durrett was good at making excuses.
They would ask questions because they'd see bruises, and I'd say I ran into something because they all knew that I was clumsy.
Durrett says abuse gradually crept into her relationship with Jean Ysidron. She was pregnant and had a 5-year-old son.
I was scared to leave.
Durrett says she finally couldn't take the abuse any longer and worried it would spill over to her daughter and son.
At that moment, it was, I have to protect my children. It's not about me anymore.
Ysidron was charged with felony family violence, and Durrett wanted prison time. After all, this was Ysidron's second family violence case.
I called my mom and I was like, he's getting out. He's getting away.
Durrett said she was informed the prosecutor was not taking the case to trial, so there would be no need for her to tell her story to a jury. Ysidron walked away with a plea deal and probation.
I was in the middle of Walmart when they called me, and I broke down crying and had to have someone come get me off the floor because I couldn't even breathe or walk or get up.
Ysidron did wind up doing jail time because he violated protective orders in the case. Durrett still felt slighted.
They weren't here to protect the victim. They're here to make it easy for the criminal. In my personal experience, they did nothing to help me.
Durrett's case ended shortly after Kim Ogg was first elected to district attorney in 2017.
We've got to do something. It's killing people.
And that was Ogg on Houston Newsmakers in 2019. She campaigned on changing the way domestic violence cases are handled. This re-election website touted an approach that is evidence-based and victim-centric while targeting high-risk offenders.
Afternoon, everybody.
Now into her second term, we wanted to know where the numbers stand on prosecutions. KPRC2 Investigates reviewed data provided by the DA's office. We looked at 45,000 domestic violence cases filed during Ogg's first year in office through the end of 2020. The number of cases filed jumped a whopping 83%. We went deeper, looking at how cases were resolved. The number of cases dismissed jumped from 35% in 2017 to 66% in 2020, and the number of convictions dropped from 43% in 2017 to just 20% in 2020. Only a small percentage shows the victim backed out or the defendant was charged with a different crime. We asked Ogg for an interview to explain why so many dismissals. She declined, saying she won't comment until her office can do its own analysis of the same numbers.
As an advocate and as a social worker in this community, no, I would not say that I have a very clearly defined idea of how they're handling the cases.
Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council board member Donna Amsberg worries a lack of answers may indicate the county needs more resources. Amsberg says not being able to track exactly how cases are handled can rob the DA's office of discussing possible improvements and providing better answers to the public and, most importantly, survivors.
Justice looks different for every single victim.
Jacqueline Guerra is manager of legal advocacy services at the Houston Area Women's Center. She can't comment on the DA's office, but provides insight why cases may end in a dismissal.
99% of our survivors that walk in through our doors or call our hotline are experiencing financial abuse.
A lot of survivors worry they can't pay the bills or feed their children if their abuser goes to prison. Also, COVID shut down trials for most of 2020, and some survivors couldn't find safe harbor in shelters or with family, which leads to another concern.
Are they going to let him out? Is he going to come back and retaliate? Is the violence going to increase?
We have been asking District Attorney Ogg to provide context for these numbers since May 10th, and we will continue to press for those answers. As for Ashley Durrett's case, the DA's office did respond in an email, writing, "Given the specific facts and circumstances in this matter, specialized prosecutors in our domestic violence division felt this was the best possible outcome." On click2houston.com, we have another look at the numbers provided by the DA, as well as how to contact help if you're being abused. Robert Arnold, KPRC2 Investigates.
Thank you.